oral questions. The honourable member for Halifax.
In Turkish media that the individual who was detained for allegedly helping 3 British schoolgirls join ISIS was working for the Canadian Embassy in Jordan, where Bruno Saccomani, the former head of the Prime Minister's security detail, is the ambassador. Can the government confirm that someone linked to Canadian intelligence, either an employee, an agent, or an asset, is being detained in Turkey?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary for Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would like to thank the honourable member for that question. Yes, we are aware of some of these reports. However, I cannot comment on matters of operational matters of national security. But what I would like to remind this House is that the threat of terrorism, the international jihadi movement against Canada, is real. We just have to look in the news. Day after day, we're hearing of more instances of people who have allegedly left Canada to join ISIL, to fight for the ISIL beliefs. And, Mr. Speaker, Canadians know that it is this government that is bringing forward legislation to better protect Canadians.
The honourable member for Halifax.
Mr. Speaker, last night's committee testimony underlined that the sweeping changes Conservatives have put forward in C-51 are excessive, unnecessary and dangerous to our freedoms. But what really stood out last night was the disrespect shown to a witness. The member for Calgary-Nose Hill suggested that the National Council of Canadian Muslims had ties to, quote, Islamic terrorist groups, and that they were, in her words, half-hearted in the fight against terrorism. Will the member apologize for her disgraceful behaviour?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The international jihadist movement has declared war on Canada and its allies. Countries like Canada that believe in openness and tolerance. We again see this again and again in the news. We've seen recent attacks here in Canada, Paris, in Copenhagen and in Australia. But let me talk about the reasons why we brought forward C-51. Our national security agencies have identified serious gaps in existing legislation that they need to better protect Canadians. That is what this government is doing. We brought forward common sense measures, and I certainly hope that the NDP will eventually get on our side.
The honourable member for Halifax.
Un ancien ministre conservateur et président du comité de surveillance des activités de renseignement a été clair. Permettre au SCRS de demander à un juge de violer la Charte des droits, ça va tourner en cauchemar constitutionnel. Pourquoi le gouvernement veut-il faire adopter si rapidement un projet de loi qui est mal conçu?
The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Yesterday we heard from a number of witnesses. It was the first day or second day of a testimony. First day, of course, was on Tuesday with both Ministers of Public Safety and the Minister of Justice appearing. We look forward to continued debate and information coming from all sides and views of this. But, Mr. Speaker, when I talk about the gaps that have been identified by our national security agencies, it was very clear when Commissioner Paulson said that it would also be very helpful in respect of those people who we don't know anything about. He was referring to the information sharing aspects of this particular bill. We've brought forward these common sense measures, and I certainly hope the opposition parties will get on board.